Coach, congratulations.
Where are you at? Oh, there you are.
I think that, I don't think you're surprised at your team's effort, but one thing that might be surprising to some of us is to come in here and beat the Bulls on their home floor the way you did repeatedly. Can you comment on that, please?
Well, I mean, every game went down pretty much like this one did. You know, first two obviously here could have gone either way. They beat us at home in Game 3. You know, if we don't jump out, I'm sure to a 17-2 lead on Sunday, that would have been down to the very end because they came back and I think maybe had it at 8 with a chance to go to 6. In this game, grind it out. I mean, I'm proud of those guys because for a lot of them it's the first time dealing with all this. Not only playoffs, but then, you know, to close out a series. I think they really realized how hard it is. And I'm proud that, you know, they never lost their focus of being satisfied with a couple wins in the back pocket, maybe looking ahead to go home to close it out. I kept telling them, I want you to be the desperate team. Keep being the desperate team. And, you know, for the most part, they did. I thought, again, I told our guys 2 years ago, the guys that were here, we could have never won a game like this. And now this team is bought in to believing in defense and what we do and how we do it. And that's how we won this game today. Because obviously, offensively, we weren't stellar. And we pulled it out, though. We grinded it out. And I'm really proud for those guys.
President Ney, just the way, his impact, just not even with the scoring, but the rebound.
Well, it's all the intangibles. I use that word for Ney all the time. He's got the intangibles. He can score, he can shoot, he can post, he can pass, he can dribble, he can defend. And that, combinations of that, when he's not there, you can't put one guy in that has all those things. And, you know, obviously having him back tonight is a good comfort level for our guys that play with him because he does so much in helping others, both from a defensive standpoint and offense. And he got us again off to a really good start tonight, like he did in Game 1. And you know that was big for us. I really just thought for us that was the difference. In all 5 games, we had really good first quarters, which got us into the game. And you know we gained control a lot of the games with the way we played in that first quarter. And tonight, you know, was another example of that, going 23-15 after 1.
Coach, your guards are supposed to be too inexperienced to perform well at this level. How nice to see them be fearless like they always have been.
Well, they're growing up. There's no question about that. And as I told you guys, I wasn't too concerned that this might be too big of a stage for the first time. You never know, though. But with the way they handled both of them being 18, 19 years old coming into this league, and how they handled it, I knew that they're a little different than other 18 and 19 years old. So those two, I thought, grew, obviously, through something like this, and now hopefully they can grow some more as we move forward.
Randy, this is obviously first playoff appearance since 08, I think it is, and first time in the second round since 05. How much, in terms of a growth and development for a young team, how important is it?
I think, you know, we'll look back on this, I think, as this group moves forward, and I think we'll get a big jump from this. Just, you know, the intensity of how you have to play in the playoffs is something I think, until you experience it, I think that helps you in the regular season as you move forward. And that's how you get from 44 wins to moving it up to 50 or home court or whatever the case is. And I want our guys that, you know, wherever this ends, to hopefully have that growth and learning experience through the playoffs.
Coach, watching the first 2 games of the series, it seemed like the Bulls were the team that was more confident, and until they lost those 2 games, it seemed like they were a team that was going to win the series. After you won those 2 games, it seems like it totally changed around, and your team seemed to be the one that was in charge, and the Bulls were the ones running, trying to catch up.
Yeah, listen, those guys over there, these are always, even with the injuries and obviously Derek being hurt again this year and not here. I mean, what the job Tibbs does with this group is phenomenal. And when we last game of the year, when we finally solidified 5 and we drew these guys, we knew it was going to be a bloodbath. Just the coach and the players that are here. A lot of heart on that team. And a lot of those guys have been through this many times in the playoffs, the grinded out wars that it takes. And that's what I'm hoping that our guys now will learn and become. Because there's no quit on those guys over there. And we knew it was going to be a knockdown, drag-out fight. And, I said we were lucky. 4 of these 5 games came down to the last possessions. And as you well know, that can go either way.
Coach, in the third quarters, early this season, you guys always had trouble with coming out in the third quarter. Do you think that was the difference in getting the separation that you needed?
Yeah, I mean, it didn't hurt, but I was really pleased with our starts more than anything. Coming right into the game, the first quarter, and establishing ourselves and what we can always come back to, both from an offensive thing and a defensive thing. When you can establish something early as a coach, I like that, because now, as you get into the fourth quarter, you can always, you can come back to certain things because you established it. So, but the third, obviously, coming out at halftime is always important too.
Randy, you use the word bloodbath. Tom has talked that he feels like your team has gotten more of the 50-50 balls. Your team has maybe been, the first to hit rather than get hit in the series, figuratively. How did you instill that in these guys?
Well, I think they knew what we were facing, and the guys in that other locker room that we were facing, and I told them if we had a chance, we had to be the ones that had to be the most physical team. And we got guys that can do it, obviously. But you got to be willing and able to do it, as it turned out, 5 straight games. And it can wear another team down as you continue on. And I thought our guys did a great job of that. And that was a big importance for us in this series because of who they are.
Randy, this is Andre Miller's 15th season and the first time that he's gotten out of the first round of the playoffs. This is your first time as a coach to get out of the first round. Any personal feelings, reflections after the job?
Between Andre and I? Or
yourself?
Well, no, I mean, there's nothing to celebrate yet. I mean, I think, as I told our guys, let's move on now. Let's see what we can do here. And not, again, it's a lot of it's going to be the same coach speak of, let's be greedy and moving forward here and seeing what we can do in the next round now. And there'll be time to reflect at the end of the year. Obviously, it's my first time in the playoffs also as a head coach. So, I'm obviously very lucky to be in the playoffs for the first time and win a round the first time out.